All right, here we go. And then I'm going to turn my camera because I'm going to talk a little bit about the batter mixer dispenser because we get questions about that too. Okay, so let me just kind of drag this over here. All right, and I haven't hit the preset yet for heating because I want to actually just go ahead and make my batter first. This is the batter mixer dispenser. If you have this, I'd love to know in the chat. I use it for making like cupcakes. I think it's the easiest thing to make my whole cupcake mix. When you start making a whole box of your cake batter, it's going to fill it completely up, but don't worry, you can actually mix everything in there. Okay. Now, before I make this all kind of like full of batter, I want to make sure I take it apart because this is the thing that trips people up is once okay, so for example, let's just do it like this. This is what it looks like. I'm going to put in, all of my ingredients. I'm going to just pump. I'm going to open it up and then I need to press my batter out. I'm going to put the little paddle on here and then make sure you take off your little bottom part because this was keeping, any drips or liquid from coming out. I'm going to dispense everything out, just kind of press, and it'll all the way get down to the bottom till I'm done pressing my cupcakes, pressing my, crepes or whatever. But when I go to pull this out, it's going to be really tight because it's almost like an airlock. Just take your finger and put it right in here to that and break the air seal and just open it and pull it back out. That's how you're going to do that. Okay. So I wanted to make sure I showed you that before, there's a whole bunch of batter in here. Somebody asked me the other day, because I demoed this in my VIP group, I made some cupcakes. They said, can you, how big is this tip? That's a pretty big, it's like a little cross section. It's pretty big. Like I've had blueberry come through there when I've been doing blueberry pancakes. Okay. So you just kind of have to know what you're working with. But all of it comes apart and goes into the dishwasher. So one of the tips that I will tell you that I like about this product is, first of all, you want to make sure you put your liquid down before you do your dry ingredients. And that way you don't have any dry ingredients, stuck on the bottom. So we're going to do a classic crepe recipe. I make this all the time. It's a very bougie dessert. People think they are in France and you're like, girl, it's just basically thin pancake batter is all that it really is. So we're just going to make sure when you get ready to put this together, put this extra little cap on here. It's just going to make sure like no oil or liquid escapes out of there. So here's 1.25 cups of milk. I use whole milk. You can use whatever kind of milk. I've got 2 eggs here. I need about a teaspoon of vanilla and 2 tablespoons of oil. A teaspoon of vanilla in here. We've got our holiday products coming up. And if you are about out of vanilla like I am, you're going to be so glad when October 1st comes around so we can get our special seasonings back in stock again. Okay, so we've got our liquid in there. We're going to need about, I think this is about a tablespoon of sugar. We're going to need just really about a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Jamie Swanson would just be taking a pinch. I'm going to measure. Okay, there we go. And then we need 1 cup of flour. All right. Now I'm going to go ahead and turn my Deluxe Electric Grill and Griddle to the griddle setting. I'm going to press it. It's going to ask me, are you sure you want it to run for 60 minutes? I don't care. Like I said, I'm just going to pay attention to what it says. If it wants me to add time, I'll add time. It's fine. All right. I can see it's running. It's very similar to our other products. When it's running, it's got that little rectangular that's chasing each other. Oh, listen, before you put this totally in the dishwasher, I want to make sure that you can unscrew this little cap up here and just kind of lay it out. And I put all that in the top rack of the dishwasher. Okay. Everything I put in the top rack of the dishwasher. All right. So I'm just going to go ahead and put this in here, turn it, and just pump until it's mixed. I've even had a consultant of mine tell me that he makes his barbecue sauce in here and he squeezes out his barbecue sauce with this thing. I thought, well, that is absolutely brilliant. I'm just going to twist it around so I don't see any batter whatsoever or any undried spots. That looks pretty good. I want to put a little bit of butter on here too, so let me just do that. Now, crepes is one of the easiest desserts to make. Like I said, it's just basically a thin pancake. You can make it savory or you can make it sweet. And we like to make it sweet. So we'll have some crepes, and then sometimes I like to take a little bit of softened cream cheese, some orange zest, some orange juice, and a little bit of powdered sugar, and then just smear it into my crepe, and then just do some fresh strawberries or, you know, fresh jam or whatever. So you can just kind of make it however you want. Nutella is a great filler as well. Okay. And I've got my butter, and it's like, gosh, it's basically probably been quite just a minute, not long at all. This is what I bring out when I've got company and I have got to make a batch of like my little dollar pancakes. Okay. So I've got the back side here. I know it's out of camera angle, but it is doing great too. And so I don't even wait for the 5 minutes. This thing is already sizzling. I already know it's ready to go. It gets hot fast. Real quick, there is 3 little dots here, big, medium, and small. The big dot is this is the indicator that tells me how much batter it's going to dispense. The big dot's great for like your cupcakes and your muffins. Your middle dot is great for your like your pancakes. So I'm just going to use my crepes for. And then the small dot is for like mini muffins. Okay. So let me just get this out. I'm going to put my little paddle on here so I can push out my crepes. I'm going to go in. I'm going to go to the middle dot. I'm going to take my little plunger thing off of here, and then I'm just going to squeeze, and it's just going to do the exact amount of batter that I want for my crepes. Okay, and I'm going to go to the back side here and just do 2 as well. And really, it's just going to take a couple of minutes, and they'll start to come out so good. So I'll get these going. So Jamie, I'll turn it back over to you, and we'll check and see how your air fryer cake. I've never made a cake in the air fryer, so I'm really interested to see how this is going to turn out. So I'm going to toss it back to you.
Perfect. Oh my gosh. Well, I just said in the chat that I never used my batter dispenser. But I think the last time I used it was at that meeting that we had at that church on College Road and at Jenny's church. And I don't think I've used it since. So I'm so inspired right now. I think I'm going to go get it out and make some pancakes for the boys for breakfast. Anyway, all right. Well, we have about 4 minutes left on the cake, so we'll let that go. But I did want to show you 2 of the things. This was the little like for the rotisserie. There's also some little oh gosh, little teeth that go in it. And
Jamie,
the first time that I made
you, Jamie.
Amy, will you mute again? Oh, and I'll move the spotlight. Just get so excited and I just start talking.
There we go. We're good.
And I forgot to record until we got halfway in. So anyway, those of you that you missed some good stuff at the front, we'll try to recap as we go back through. But anyway, the first time I tried to do a rotisserie chicken, I missed the whole, because again, if you don't measure, you're probably not reading a lot of instructions. But I didn't have the little teeth that that will hold the chicken in place. So I had this like flopping chicken. So that's where the lazy girl chicken came from. So but you would just use this little like grabber to put the to pull it out. I usually put it in with my hands and then pull it out with my with the little grabber. Now I told you I was going to show you what I do with the basket. A lot of people love to use the basket to do like fries, or a good friend of mine just did some really yummy like chicken pieces. I think she did oh gosh, what did she do? There's one of the recipes for chicken wings that she did just like little chicken pieces and used on the little rolling basket. It's not my favorite, so I used it for bingo. So my bingo balls are in there. So if you haven't been to one of our bingo Zoom parties, hopefully we'll have one of those. So that's the best I found for that. But for every person that doesn't care for something, we find like 10 more that absolutely adore it. So there's that. All right, 2 more minutes over there. But I am going to go ahead and start talking to you about my other favorite product, which is the Rapid Prep Mandolin. If you guys do not have this, make sure it is on your wish list for the very next time that you host a party, or just need something for yourself. It makes a great gift too. But I think it's one of those things that most people hear the word mandolin, they kind of cover their ears, they grab their hands, because a lot of us have had experiences with a mandolin. Raise your hand if you have had a mandolin experience. I mean, I had to get stitches years ago because I was using one not properly. So the Pampered Chef has taken all the guesswork out of that. I think they have just perfected the safety and function on this one. So one of the things I love is it has the little grippy feet, so it doesn't slide all over the place. It stores flat, so you've got your little food catcher and then your all of your other pieces. So that just goes in one spot in my pantry. I call this a little garage door. So the little garage door keeps everything hidden. But what's neat is the blade, the only time you even see the blade is en route from the time you're trying to, from park to go. So I love that. Really, really handy. There's 3 different cuts, and the last party I did on Thursday, the ladies there were like, "You mean you don't have to change the blade?" I'm like, "Nope, you don't have to change the blade." So there's 3 different cuts you can do, just a flat, like perfect for potatoes, onions, cucumbers, zucchini, and then there's a French fry setting. So I do obviously French fries. I do sweet potato fries, but I also do things like zucchini. I do carrots, all sorts of things. And then the final one is the julienne. I use that quite a bit. You'll get like a matchstick carrot. You'll get like I'll do potatoes to make like kind of like stringy hash browns. Just a variety of things. So love to hear in the chat, those of you that have it, which setting do you use the most often? Then with each one of those settings, you've got 8 different thicknesses. So you can go from really nice and thick to super, super thin. So I'm going to show you all of those. And it's a great little kickstand type thing there. You've got the food holder, so it's going to go right in there, and then this is the food pusher. So there is really, I'm not going to say there's no way that you could hurt yourself, but it's going to be, you're just going to have to be trying real hard, I feel like, if you do. So let's go ahead and start with the round cut, because I feel like there is so many different things that you can do. So I'm going to pull it in this direction so you guys can see. So I'm just putting the whole potato in there. I really don't even need to use the food pusher just yet, but we're going to start on just the slice and do a number 8. I'm going to get a couple of pieces of the number 8. So really nice, nice thickness there. I'm going to scoot on down to about a number 4. So for this one, the thickness of a cucumber that I want for a salad, and you can see the difference in those 2. So you know, just much thicker. And then you've got the option for like a number 1. So this is like perfect for a potato chip. I went to a good local burger place today, and they have like the homemade potato chips. So that is just perfect in my opinion. All right, so the one that I use probably second most is the French fry setting. So you will see on the number 8, it's got a little symbol. And so the number 8 is the ideal setting if you're doing a French fry. Around the number between the 4 and the 5, there is a smaller one, and that is the ideal number for the julienne cut. Okay, so obviously you get to make the decision, but if you're looking for really the ideal cut, that's going to be it. Right when we first got it, I was like, "Oh, it does waffle fries." No, you need to read the instructions, Jamie. It does not do waffle fries. Those are the symbols. So I just saved you a little bit of reading time. All right, so I think I'm coming here and just pop it a couple of times, and you guys look at those perfect potatoes for fries. They are perfect to put in the air fryer. We do a lot of fries in the air fryer, and it's just delicious with that. Now I'm going to swing on over to the julienne, and then swing down to like the number 4. So what's going to happen with the julienne is this blade, you've got a nice thick cut. You're going to get a blade in between that. So you're getting half of the thickness of the French fry. So it's kind of a twofer. So this equals this when it's not together. So isn't that pretty cool? So we love that. And then a lot of times what I'll do with this is I'll just end up boiling these potatoes for something, so they don't go to waste. But I love this thing. I'm actually had recently ordered a second one because I was like, I just need it. I love it. Absolutely fantastic. So let's talk about cleaning, because that's usually people are like, oh, it's just going to be a mess to clean. Nope. In fact, it is not. So I use that same little cleaning brush that I showed you guys earlier, just to kind of like pre-clean the around the blade. If you'll go ahead and flip back over to the flat cut, it will get rid of the those extra blades, and it makes just any of the potatoes or whatever you're doing come right out. So I just rinse it off, pop it right on the top rack of your dishwasher. I'm fortunate enough that we've got a third row in our dishwasher, and all of this fits just perfectly there. So I'll put either this or this right there, and then flip those over and then put it in the dishwasher, and it is good. So yes, Mary asked about sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes are, it's a dream. Like, it is a dream on that. Now, yeah, you have to push pretty hard, but I love this thing. Now I will show you another thing that I do with it sometimes that is pretty cool. I just forgot to show you, because rather than, slicing something down and then, using the chopper, I will take those same ones that we did for both the julienne and the French fry. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lay it in here sideways, so not up and down, but sideways. And then I am gonna turn it over to, I'll keep it on the julienne, so maybe about a number 4. You guys check this out. Oh, I didn't. Let me put it in there a little bit better. Oh, no, I had it just on the flat cut. I guess if I did julienne, it would help a little bit better. So what I'm doing now is now I've got like perfect little hash brown. So I call this confetti. So it's happy apple pizza season. So I'll be doing that. So I'll slice my apples with this, and it is wonderful. And then with the leftover apples, I just call it apple confetti, because it's just a lot of fun. So Amy, that's a good recipe for us to share with them tonight after this workshop. All right, let's take out this cake and shred it out. How about that? Who's got time for like a 15-minute cake? So that is perfect. It's probably more of the size that most of us need if we just need a little sweet, in after dinner. And these little, the little small oven mitts are perfect for that. So I'll get that flipped out and show you guys in just a few, but quick and easy. I ended up doing 15 minutes. I felt like that would be good, but you could do any, you could make brownies. I'm not sure the time on the brownies, but probably pretty similar to that. And same thing like cornbread. I would probably do the cornbread in the same little small fluted pan, but I am very, very happy with the way my cake turned out. All right, Miss Amy, I am going to turn it back over to you. So I will spotlight. I will spotlight you. And I will...
Hey, I want to show you my crepes real quick. Did they not turn out gorgeous, you guys? I mean, look at these crepes. Gorgeous. So I'm just going to do a little powdered sugar and some jam, and that'll be an easy dessert. All right. So I'd love to know if you guys are going to give your crepes a try. All right, let's go over here to the blender. We have a lot of people that ask us about the blender, because this blender is unique in that it cooks. And then I'll meet people who are like, oh, my blender cooks. And I'm like, are you sure it cooks, or does it just say it cooks because it uses friction? There is a difference. And a lot of times they'll come back and they're like, yeah, I think it's just the friction. I'm like, unless it has like a heat setting and a cook setting, your blender does not truly cook. All right, and that's one of the reasons why they built in a self-wash cycle, because the heating element is built into the bottom of this, and they don't want you to submerge it. So on here on our panel, we've got all of our presets. We've got smoothie, alternate milk, grind, all the non-heat settings. And then over here, we've got the heat settings like the soups, the heated purees, the jams, and the sauces. This little book here is your best friend. I probably need another one because my pages are starting to stick together. But one of the things that I love to make when I go to cooking shows is I love to either make some homemade peanut butter or some homemade almond butter. And so I've got peanuts here in the pantry, and I've got a couple recipes coming up that need some peanut butter in it. And so we're just going to do that. So this is just a jar of, I happen to have dry roasted salted peanuts. The recipe in here gives you all kinds of like nuts to do with it. With this peanut butter, it says you can add salt. It's assuming that you have the ones that are unsalted. So I don't want to add too much salt. So we're just going to put this in here. And then if you've got the blender, I'd love to know about it, because I use this all year long. Smoothies for breakfast. And then in the spring, I'll make my homemade jam. You're seeing me make homemade like nut butter tonight. You can grind flour. You can grind your coffee. just depending on your nuts will depend on if you need to add oil or not. So this particular, since peanuts have oil in them kind of naturally already, you don't need to add any oil, but like when I make almond butter, you will. This is going to be super simple and easy. So it will not work unless you have your lid on here. Now, fun fact for you, when you do your cleaning cycle, obviously you need your lid on there. Make sure you keep your little top open because, you know, this is your little top that in case you need to add something in there, this will work without the top. The first time I ever used this, I washed my cabinets, okay, because I didn't have a little top on here. So always make sure you got your little top on here. All right, so I turned it on and it's also got a custom blend. So you can then, you know, when you feel comfortable, decide if you want a 1, a 2, whatever speed you want. But I usually go with whatever settings they have. So I'm going to go over here to grind. And it's already set for 2 minutes and 20 seconds. And you'll see the nuts start climbing up. I'll open this up and it comes with a tamper. You do not want to stick in one of our Pampered Chef scrapers. I've had people do that, okay, because your blade will eat that up. So they include this tamper with it. It's got a little notch here, so it cannot go past that little hole up here at the top, okay? So thank goodness for that, okay? Because our natural inclination is to take one of our scrapers and stick it in there. All right, so I'm just gonna press this and let's go ahead and go. It's not gonna need the whole 2 minutes and 20 seconds. It's gonna go fast. I let it go about a minute. So now we're down to like a minute and 23 seconds. So it's really super quick. This is such good, creamy, y'all. Like store-bought peanut butter does not even touch this. When I make this at parties, people cannot get over how good the peanut butter is because it's just fresh ground. It's so delicious. All right. One of the things that if you have this product, you can hear the little singing that it does when it tells you that your lid's on or off. I like this long handle scraper to get in here and reach in and get everything out. It's really great to have with this product. So if you are thinking about getting a blender, once you get your blender, which by the way, all of our products are 60% off host choice of any one item or set when they do a party this month. I know we're getting towards the end of September, but that special can still be carried over into the first 7 days of October. So if you're like, oh my gosh, I need to have something, just keep in mind it only takes a $200 party to get your 60% off item and your first half price item. So a lot of people just, you know, will grab one of these and they're like, oh, I've got some friends that'll order, send me a link. It's so easy. It's easy to do that. All right. So anyways, that is just some delicious peanut butter. And I think, Jamie, for that taffy apple pizza we were talking about, I think it actually has, is it the caramel that it has, or does it have peanut butter? I can't remember on that recipe, but we can include it in the document that we'll make available for them. But anyways, y'all get the gist. So with this blender, homemade soups in the fall are absolutely delicious. I make heated puree cauliflower instead of like, you know, rice to put something over because we're trying to be really good about our carbs these days. And then also just all kinds of great recipes in here too. And Jamie's going to show you in a little bit how you, towards the end of our session tonight, how you can go over to our website and search by product or ingredient to find some additional recipes. All right, Jamie, I'm going to turn it back over to you. I think you're going to jump over and talk about kitchen spritzer real quick, right?
Yep. So love to hear, because we make a lot of peanut butter here, and it will stay in the refrigerator for 30 days, but I challenge you to let it last for 30 days. It usually goes by a lot faster, but love to hear in the chat, are you a creamy peanut butter gal or guy, or do you like it chunky? So if you prefer it chunky, what I would do, let me unspotlight and get myself over here. If you prefer chunky, what you can do is get a second jar of peanuts and put about half of them in after the cycle is done, and just pulse it for just a couple of seconds, and it will give you that chunky. Now I'm team creamy. I don't want any chunky. Same thing with my mashed potatoes. I don't want mashed potatoes. I want creamy potatoes. So I put those in the mixer. But look at how beautiful that cake is. Is that not the cutest little thing you have ever seen? And Fisher came out of the pantry when I said cake. There was no telling what that child is eating right now, unsupervised. But anyway, really, really excited about that. All right, so we're going to talk about two other like small items that oftentimes at my parties I'll hear, oh my gosh, I gave that away, or I just don't love that. It's okay not to love every single thing, but if we can help you just figure it out a little bit better, we really want to. So one of the things that I feel like there's either you're in or you're out is the measure all cup. And you guys, I love this thing. So we've got the 1 cup and the 2 cup currently. I think half of the battle is people don't know how to put it back together once they use it. After they use it and wash it. So here's your official in-service today. So the blue is for liquids, and also the blue is for the sky. So think about that. Take it out after you've washed it and dried it. The blue is the sky. So if you'll keep that up, and then put the part that the liquid would go in. So put the blue facing the sky, and then put that back in there. It makes it a whole lot easier. Another thing that I think people run into is they just have trouble getting it if they try to pull from the bottom. Don't pull from the bottom. Use your thumb and push that baby from the middle. So that's going to make it a little bit easier. All right, so here's your permission or the in-service on how to actually execute it. If you're doing liquids, don't adjust a thing. Remember that blue sky, we're just going to put it down. If you put it down, you're not going to even try to attempt to move it. So the measure marks are right on the side. Nothing needs to be adjusted there. When you flip it over, and we're going to do that peanut butter for the taffy apple pizza. So Amy, it is peanut butter, and then you drizzle the taffy apple pizza with a little bit of caramel. So you can do store-bought, or you can make caramel in the blender as well. But where you would want to adjust it is for the dry and solids. So you would just push it down and get it to the 3/4 of a cup, pack it in, push, swipe, done. So I love that. Now, the use and care tells you that the inner part can go in the dishwasher, but the exterior part should be hand washed. Again, the person that doesn't always read the recipes probably doesn't read the directions a whole lot. But what will happen is your measure marks will stay on a lot better and a lot longer if you keep it out of the dishwasher. So I'm going to let you decide what you're going to do on that. All right, another thing that I love, I cannot believe every household doesn't have two. I do, is the kitchen spritzer. But I feel like we as consultants have learned a lot over the last couple of years. And then we've also had ones that I don't think have worked quite as good as this, but I think now that we know better, we can train you guys better, and hopefully you will fall in love with it too. So this is the kitchen spritzer. You put your favorite oil in here. There's a little measure line. You don't want to go over that because you're trying to build up the pressure in there. At the bottom, there is a little white, just a little white stopper. So if you decide you want to do some infused oil, whether it's garlic, rosemary, basil, whatever kind of oil you want to do, you can infuse that. I'm not 100% sure what the rule is, but I think that you don't want to leave that in there for long term. So if you were doing a recipe that you needed infused oil, go ahead and do that, and then clean it out, and then just put your oil in there. I'll have to fact check that, but there's something sticking out about not keeping it infused in there for long. So I'll check that out. But the way that it works is you just put your oil in there, just pump it up and down until you get some nice tension. Nice tension there, and I can't pump anymore. And then what you're going to get is this aerosol effect without all the harmful chemicals that a jar of or like a can of Pam or Baker's Joy or something like that will give you. Now I had a customer that just bought the bigger fluted pan. And she sent me, or she called me. She's like, "Hey, I've got a question. The recipe or the instructions say not to put cooking spray on the pan." Well, the reason you don't want to put cooking spray on it is the cooking spray that most people buy at the grocery store is full of chemicals. You've got, it just gets tacky and sticky. So you still need to either use the kitchen spritzer or use like a basting brush to coat that with, butter or a little bit of oil to do that. But by doing that, just stuff in a can, it's super expensive for one thing. It's got who knows what kind of chemicals, and it just gets sticky. Now, what I could tell, I told Amy, I was like, I've got two spritzers. One is, working real good, and then the other one is just not spraying quite as long as I know that it should. So what I'm going to do, or what I suggest that you guys do, if once it stops doing a really, really beautiful spray, and I usually can get about 12 of my cupcake, wells sprayed when it's doing exactly what it should. At the point that I get to, and I only get about half of them done, or anytime that it no longer is doing like a mist and it's doing more of just a stream, that's the time that you need to change the oil in your spritzer. So I usually use something like the silicone prep bowl, pour that oil right out, just get all of that out. And the reason I like the silicone prep bowl is because then it's got a little spout, and when we're ready to reload it, we can do that. So what I'll do is put a little bit of soap and some water. And then what we're going to do is we are going to just clear those lines. All right, ladies of the 80s, how many of you had the hairspray like in the aerosol pump? And it would clog it up. So same thing. What we're going to do is we're going to clear the lines here. So I'm going to pump until it gets nice and tight. And then I am going to do it. And I can already tell because before what I could see is it was kind of misting up in the direction towards me. But you guys, it is, yes, Aquanet back in the day, girls. But look, it is still going. It is still going. So by clearing these lines, that is exactly what we need to do. So that's your probably every couple of months maintenance that you want to do, but what you want to do every single time you use it, yeah, look, it's still going. It's still going. So yours should be doing just like that as well. All right. So, but what you want to do each time you use it is pump, spray, and then you'll want to release the pressure. I call it burp the baby. So you hear that? It's kind of like opening a soft drink. You hear that pressure. So that's what you want to do, and then put it right back on and then store it away. If you don't release the pressure, that's what I feel like it causes it to just not function the way that it should. Another little troubleshoot with this is every once in a while, there is a little silicone like a little silicone ring in there. Sometimes it will stick to the top of your spritzer rather than stay in there. Just get yourself a little butter knife or something and just tuck that baby right in there, and it should get back to good working order. Okay. All right, Miss Amy, I'm gonna do all the things here and send it back over to you. Nope, I don't know which. Okay, I was like, oh, I lost you.
Here I was on. Took my video off because I was screwing around. Let me start with the popcorn maker because it's going to need a couple minutes in the microwave. So this is something that is super popular late summer. Well, I mean, it's popular all year long. It's great for a gift. I've got the two sizes, what I call the regular size popcorn maker and then the family size. So about 5 cups of popcorn in this one, about 12 cups in this one. We don't use this one as much unless we have a bunch of people over. But why I was saying it was so popular towards the end of the summer is this is something that we tend to see a lot of, like our college students tend to get in their dorm rooms because they usually have a microwave, and who does not like some late night popcorn when you're studying, right? So I love, of course, that you just saw it was collapsible. It's one of my favorites things about it. Can go in the dishwasher. One of the tips we like to give people is placement in the microwave. So that's why I wanted to show it to you tonight, but you can do it with butter, with oil. Your little cap here that fits in the lid actually is like the measuring cap. Okay. So you'll do 2 of these for the family size. You'll do 1 for the smaller size. This is a instance where the popcorn matters. I don't mind generics at the grocery store. I'm going to open up some tomato sauce here in a couple minutes when I do the can opener. I can't really tell the difference between, the Hunt's tomato sauce and like the generic brand at the Walmart. But with popcorn, it is one of those things that I do get better popping ratio when I, just put a little bit more money into something like Orville Redenbacher. So you're just gonna put your popcorn in here. Okay. Right in there. And at this point, you can either put your like tablespoon of butter and let it drip on it while the popcorn is popping, or you can, put some oil in here. Now, of course, we know with the holes in it, if you put oil in here, it's automatically going to go through. But what happens is it'll continue to drip as it's popping. You do not want to use the popcorn setting in the microwave. All right. Just use the full power. And the other tip is don't put it in the middle of the microwave, put it on the outside edge so it gets that full rotation. Those 3 tips. Better quality popcorn, do not use the popcorn setting on the microwave, and putting it on the outside to get a fuller rotation. That is really the game changers. Okay, each of the popcorn makers come with, their use and care. And when I looked at it today, it's tested when Pampered Chef gives you the cooking times, it's tested with an 1100 watt microwave. So I've got a 1000 watt microwave. Okay. You might have a 1200 watt microwave. When you get your popcorn maker, just follow the instructions and then you can decide, oh, do I need to go up or do I need to go down? All right. So usually that first batch or 2 is where you're going to be dialing it in to get your popcorn maker just right. Okay. So I'm going to open up this can opener. I'm going to use the can opener to open this can. It's so funny when I go to cooking shows, I'll be like, let's talk about the can opener. And I'll usually have somebody who's like, oh, I've been wanting to use that. And the first thing they'll do is they'll do this because they're conditioned to use that kind of can opener that they've probably gotten, from the local department store or whatever. But I was about to call it popcorn maker. Our can opener sits on top. And so I always say, just start with your belly button and go right to it until you make a connection and then twist and it's going to grab. And all it's doing is separating the glue that holds the top and the sides of the cans together. Okay, so just go around. You'll feel a click or release of pressure where you get to that 360 point where you started. I just kind of do a couple more turns for good measure, and then I just reverse it. So righty tighty, lefty loosey. A lot of times you'll be able to just lift it off, but there's still that suction from that glue. You have separated it, but sometimes you just need a little bit of leverage. So we've built in this little, like I said, little metal piece going up. I would call that the bird beak. And so I'm just pressing it with my button. Just going to grab it on the side here and just lift up. And here's the really cool thing, you guys. You can actually see the glue coming up with this one. Like when I pull it up, I can see the glue. There is no sharp edges here at all, which makes this great because, if I'm going to be like throwing this into the garbage after I use it, I don't have to worry about like what if my dog gets in the trash and cuts itself. I don't have to worry about cutting myself. But I love that I can just take that lid and set it right on top if I'm only going to use like, maybe half the can or something and come back to it another day or 2. Okay. That was 2 minutes. That was fast. Let's look at our popcorn. Now, people ask me, they're like, Amy, if you can do butter and, oil, then why don't you just go ahead and do it? Y'all, 1 tablespoon of butter just makes me mad. So at this point, I just want all the popcorn and then I'm just going to go ahead. Look at this. It fills it all up. And I'll just go ahead and get me like a little prep bowl and I'll put multiple tablespoons of butter, put them in the microwave for about 30 seconds. And I want this thing butter soaked. Okay. So I like to just go ahead and just do my popcorn, but it smells fantastic. So we're going to be diving into that in just a little bit. Okay. I've got one more thing to show you and then I'll toss it back over to Jamie. So that was can opener we talked about real quick. Oh, by the way, people ask about this little white hook. You'll have some cans that have that pop top. That's what that's for. You can use that for leverage because, if you got a like really beautiful manicure and you're like, I just don't want to ruin my nails by trying to dig in there and get that little pop top up. You can just use that. It cuts right over the pop top. I have people who have wire pantries. They'll use this little thing to just hang on there as a hook. But great can opener. We get lots and lots and lots of praise about it. But we do have people who are like, I'm just not sure how to use it. And it's just orienting from this to laying it on top. All right. Now, one of my customers asked me today before we went live, she said, I'd really like to know a little bit more about the meat thermometer. So this is something that I have multiples of. I have one in my show bag because we're always doing stuff, at cooking shows with meat, but also we cook a lot of meat here. So it comes with a probe. I don't talk about that all the time in my VIP group because I'm usually just, inside here and I'll just usually use this probe that's attached to it like that. All right. And there's an on and off switch here, but at the very top, it's got a place where you can put in the flexible probe. Okay. And so when you put in that flexible probe, what it's telling the unit is, hey, I want you to take the temperature for this probe. Now, where I really use this is, we're gonna be doing a Boston butt later on this week, is on our pit boss, which is metal. I love that this has got a magnet on the back. So I can set it on the pit boss and I can put this in my Boston butt because I need to work through the stall. If y'all have ever done a Boston butt, it's gonna hang there for about 200 degrees forever and ever before it kicks over to that 204. You're like, finally, praise the Lord, my meat is done. So this is where this, this part comes in. But my stove, or my oven, I can put this on my oven, put this in my turkey and just turn it on, and it's going to give me the temperature of what's going on inside the meat. Okay. So you got two probes, one that has this nice long cord, and I have not measured the cord, but plenty good. Don't worry about closing your door on it. It's coated, so it's totally fine. You're not going to do anything to it. I just hand wash the little probe here. I hand wash the little probe here. Like I said, there's a magnet on the back. Okay. Occasionally I do have to replace the battery. Pretty simple. The battery is that little round hole back here behind the clip. So there's a clip here. So if you need to clip it onto something, you can. So, and I don't always talk about this. This is your bottle opener. So if you are at the grill and you just need to pop one open, you got it going on right there. So Martha, I hope that answered your questions. If you've got any more questions, put them in the chat. But yeah, this comes with it. So you just got two probe options when you're ready to check the temperature of your meat. All right, Miss Jamie, I'm gonna send it back over to you.
All right. So can you guys hear me okay? All right, so I switched from my phone to my computer so I could share a couple of things. So I do apologize for anybody that's watching the recording. You guys did miss a tiny bit, so we just had a lot going on. But I talked about the air fryer in specific detail. We made a cake. Fisher has already sampled the cake. He thinks it's delicious. Amy was in great detail about the grill and griddle. So we may be able to just maybe type out some of the highlights that we did on that. But what I want to show you now is I'm going to screen share a couple of things. All right, so can you guys see that? Can you see the Pampered Chef website? All right, so many of you, may have already found this awesome feature, but some of you may have not. So work with your consultant to get their website. Most of you are probably really familiar with it. But right here at the top, there's recipes and blogs. So if you'll just go right to the recipes, this is really, really fun. So they have got some great categories on there now. So like game day recipes. So check that out. Crowd pleasers, all things coffee, wedding showers. So just some great things for that. But more importantly, what most of you are probably looking is more recipes for your multi-cooker. Well, if you were on our workshop not recently, you don't need any more because we've provided tons. Or maybe your rock crock recipes, the blender recipes. So like, for example, with the blender recipes, you click on that, it's going to give you 57 recipes that you can do with the blender. So I love that. I think that is so smart. Also, you can search by like new recipes. You can do some classics. I bet the taco ring pulls up in that. It can give you recipes by course. So a lot of times when Amy and I are doing cooking shows, which you guys know we love to do, if we're doing appetizers, I can easily just do a search by that, or main dishes, side dishes. But they go even farther. So they will give you about 30 minutes less, budget friendly, things from the pantry, vegan, vegetarian. So I love that. I've actually got somebody in one of my parties this week that, said that she was looking for some vegan recipes. So all I'm going to do is come right here, share the link to that. And then even other things like with Halloween coming up, go ahead and click on the Halloween. I'll show you. It's going to give some really cute ideas that you can do. So a lot of these may be just kind of pumpkin-y fall-y, but look at these fun little those stuffed peppers, and there's some little cupcakes that you can do. Look at those teeth. So anyway, I really hope that you will take advantage of the just different options on here. But then there's a whole section on different products that you can search for. Also, another thing that I love to do, one of our most used ingredients at our house is chicken. So if I just want to find a chicken recipe, I can click on that, and it is going to give me all sorts of things. So then I can go, you know, if I'm looking for a new chicken recipe that we haven't done, or a classic, or maybe I'm looking for a chicken appetizer. So anyway, utilize these websites because they are fabulous. Real quick, I want to show you, we would be silly not to tell you about the amazing deals that they popped up for us this month. So they have discounted, October 15th was going to be our 44-year anniversary. So I love that. Super excited to celebrate that with Pampered Chef. And so they gifted us early something really cool that, you know, I'm really happy that from this past Wednesday through October 31st, you can start your business for either $44, so our $50 stoneware kit, that's, you know, normally $50, you can get that for $44, or 44% off of any of the other kits. I'm gonna see it. Yeah, okay. So here are the prices here. So I love that. So the one with the brilliance or the cast iron is normally $150. You could start for as little as $84 between now and Halloween. So I love that. How about these big daddies? So the ones with the appliance, you guys, it's $110 discount. So if you have been on the fence thinking about trying the business out, this is a great time to do it. Tina, who's on the call, started a couple of months ago. You guys, she works full time as a teacher. She is a soccer coach. Her family has a band. They do a ton with their church, and she is loving it. This is working so well in the nooks and crannies of her life. And we were talking yesterday. She's been hosting Pampered Chef parties for 20 to 25 years. And I said, Tina, I'm so glad it was finally the time. So, and I think she is too. So anyway, such a good time to try the business, especially as we're going into the holidays. People are shopping, you guys. You may as well get the benefit of that, and you could make some extra money too for your holiday, the holiday bills to be a little lower. I don't see the bonus, but I will show you the two things. Once you qualify, Pampered Chef is actually given consultants that sign up between now and Halloween 2 of our brand new items. So the deluxe, or I think deluxe is on the name of it, but the twist and chop, you guys, it is fantastic. It's $100 normally, and then the charcuterie board with the removable little plate. So you're going to get those for free in addition to all the other benefits for being a consultant. So super excited to share that with you guys. So if you have questions, make sure you reach out to Amy or myself to figure out what what kind of questions you have, because it's always information, not obligation. I can promise you, neither one of us came into this business 16 and 22 years ago thinking that we were going to do more than a couple of shows. So it has been a huge blessing to us, and we'd be selfish if we didn't offer it to each and every one of you. All right, Amy, I think you are going to share. Let's see.
Just gonna wrap it up, and while I'm wrapping it up,
If you want to put the survey into the chat, Jamie,
Sure.
so
Yeah.
we'll do another giveaway. So if you'll have the survey filled out,
out by noon tomorrow, then Jamie and I will she'll have a winner, and then I'll have a winner. So we'll just contact our winners and send you something special. But hopefully, and this is our 3rd straight month we've been doing Zoom, and we just really want to just show you guys the dedication we have to our customers for the service after the sale. It kind of hurts my heart a little bit when someone tells me, well, I bought that, but I just leave it in, I'm not sure what to do with it. I just leave it in the counter. That doesn't do that customer any good. It doesn't do me any good. It doesn't do the company any good. And you can say, well, the company made some money, or you made some money. Yeah, we did. But the whole thing is that we want you to love your products. And then, you love it so much that you're like, oh my gosh, I just have to tell the world about it. So we know that if you don't love something, that you're of course not going to share about it. And of course, we want to know if there's something that you're not happy with, let us know about it. I did want to touch on warranties real quick. With Pampered Chef, in the first 30 days that you have a product, Pampered Chef will pay for the shipping for anything to go back. Now, here's the really cool thing. Let's say you have a product, you know, for within a year and you're hating it, you're just not using it, not liking it, we'll still take it. We will refund, replace, or exchange for up to a whole year. Even if you have used that product for 300 days in a row and you're like, I hate the blah, blah, blah. I'm like, girl, no problem. Let's just return it. But they will pay for the shipping for the first 30 days that you have it. So always best practice is anytime FedEx, UPS, or any of our delivery partners throws your package on the porch, open it up and make sure everything landed okay, because they're just doing the best they can and they're hustling too. And so, of course, if something's damaged, we will take care of getting that replaced for you. But don't want you to have your stuff be sitting around for a couple weeks and you're like, oh, I think I'll finally get around to opening it. Open it up right away and just make sure everything's good. So before we jump off tonight, Jamie's got the survey in there, but did want to let you know that, as Jamie mentioned, it is prime time buying season, you guys. This is when people's brains are coming off of summer, kids are back in school, and they're like, okay, I'm starting to think about the holidays. So we've got Halloween coming up, we've got Thanksgiving, and of course we've got Christmas and other holidays in there. So, you know, people are always looking for shopping alternatives, and we're always telling people, you know, it's easier to shop from your seat instead of your feet and have something good to eat. And that doesn't matter whether it's, you know, you're at a live cooking show and they're getting together with friends. What a super fun shopping experience to be able to get together, have something great to eat, laugh, hang out with other folks, and then do your shopping. It makes you feel so good. It's stress-free. And or if you're like, oh, I'm just not in a vicinity where, you know, people can get together, then always know that there's the virtual option or a good old-fashioned catalog show as well. That still works today. So we just want to let you know that there's amazing host rewards with Pampered Chef. You know, any one item set 60% off this month. We do change that to some certain sets in October. So we'll share that when October rolls around. But there's up to 5 half price items and then up to a 30% discount. And our hosts get 10% off for a whole year. You guys, I go to Walmart all the time and they never offer me a 10% discount. But with Pampered Chef, we do that for you, whether you're at one of my parties or another consultant's party. So hopefully, you know that we love y'all. We want you to love your products. And this is why we like to come on and just give you that extra little service. So if you've got questions or concerns, don't feel like you're stuck with something. We know you work hard for your money and we want you to love and enjoy your products. And in the event you don't, we'll be happy to help you figure out how to get that refunded, replaced, or exchanged. Okay. So Jamie, was there any last minute questions in our chat before we jump off tonight?
No, I don't think so. I think we covered everything, but when you fill out the survey, we are looking for what the next workshop that you want. So let us know. Let us know what else you would love to, what else you would love for us to do, because we really want to keep this up about once a month, and we'll keep doing it if you guys will keep coming. So, but Amy, I love partnering with you. It's so much fun. If you saw the jumping that was going on my couch, you'd feel at home. So,
Feel the same way here. Feel the same way. Love you, girl.
all
All right, you guys, thanks for joining us tonight.
we'll see ya. Bye.